Hi, this is Stu Bruce from Washington College, and I'm going to give a short lab demonstration on Module C of our Introduction to Spatial Analyst course. First thing you need to do is reopen Module B, which we did in Module B. We're going to use the same file to do Module C. This time we're going to work on using some different symbols. Go ahead and double click on Point, and in Point, what you want to do is go ahead and click Style References, and we're going to make sure that you turn on 3D residential. See it right there, 3D residential, click OK. And what I want you to do is I want you to find a house style that you think might be appropriate for St. Michael's, which is on the Eastern Shore, Maryland. Not too big, not too small. And I'm going to look for one here, and I'm going to go ahead and pick this house here. Once you pick your house, I picked house number 11. Go ahead and click OK. And then you can zoom in, take a closer look at what happened. So we zoom in, you can rotate your view around, and you should see something like that. So you should notice that your buildings are not correctly lined up with the flow of the street. This can be easily fixed. All right, so you should notice that the buildings don't line up properly, and we're going to go ahead and rotate those. If you go back to our point symbology, notice that we have a rotate angle. And you can kind of guess. I'm just going to put 20 in, see what happens. So 20 actually got it relatively close, but still not perfectly spot on. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust again. So maybe I'll try 23 or 25. Let's try 25, click 25. Almost there. We'll go ahead and try 28 and click OK. So now these seem like they're lined up a little bit better on the street. Now, the only thing that's sort of wrong with this is all the buildings are the same, and we like them to be individual buildings. So if we go back into our symbology, double click, go into the layer properties for point, go to our symbology tab, select categories, change our value field to address, click add all values, and we can come up with a symbol for each individual building. Click OK. Then for each address, we can go in and select an individual building for each particular property, just like that. And then unfortunately, you'll have to spend some time rotating each building. So I'm going to go ahead and do that myself as quickly as I possibly can, and then I will come back. All right, so that took more than a couple minutes actually to get done. You can see that I've rotated each of the homes to match the street. I also had to go in and adjust the size. This one building right here was particularly hard to fit in between the two because I put too big of buildings on either side. I actually put a row home in there, and this one was actually facing the other direction, so I had to go with a 208-degree angle, and I might have forgot to turn that one around. But roughly you should get something that looks like this. I made that one definitely way too small, so let me try to adjust the size on that one just up a little bit. There's size 14, and you can see it's facing the wrong direction. So instead of 28-degree angle, I have to go with 208 to go ahead and fix that. And then this one here, you see I have the wrong way. I think it's this one here. Yep. I'm going to go with the 208 angle on that. And hopefully that will spin around. Now I can actually see the front of the house. So a little bit of work. Imagine trying to do it for the entire town, how much work that would be. All right, so we're going to try to spice this up just a little bit more. If we go to our catalog and then basically find the folder where your data is at, you'll see that we have cars and streets, or excuse me, cars and trees. So go ahead and add the cars, and then go ahead and add St. Michael's trees. And what we're going to be able to do with this, if we go ahead and zoom to layer, we've added some car points. You'll notice the car points are conveniently placed on top of the cars that are actually in the street. And we've added some individual trees as well. So if we want to make the cars, we can just double click here and go ahead and scroll down till we see our cars. And we're going to go ahead and pick a model that you like. I'm going to go ahead and put in a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'll have to do the same rotation, 28 degrees should do it. Click OK, and then zoom in and you can look at the size of the car. So there's my cars, and you can definitely see that they're not facing the right direction. So 28 wasn't the right angle to use, and you kind of have to play around and guess until you get it right. But now they're definitely facing the right way. Now, a street furniture scene with all the cars being exactly the same. Notice how some are facing the right way and the others are parked illegally facing the other way. You can change this. If we open up the attributes for cars and look, you can see that we actually assign a number of different types and also rotations that we could apply. So go ahead and we will go ahead and do a categories, value field, um, type, add all values, and we can have different types of cars. There's really quite a lot of them here. I'll leave it up to you how far you want to go, but if you go ahead and click on this, you can then individually go in and pick all the different types of cars. Now to speed this up a little bit, we can turn off 3D residential, just leave 3D vehicles on, click OK, and we could just go right down the list and add all of these different cars, which I hope you see could take quite a lot of time. And then you'd have to individually rotate each car to find the right angle. So that one might be an angle of 118, hit OK. It's actually facing the wrong direction. And take a little bit of time for you to figure out the correct angles for your cars. So take a crack at that. If you give up a little bit on it, I will understand. But take a try at trying to rotate and put individual cars on there. Now we can do the same thing for trees. If you double click on the symbology for trees, go to our style references, we have 3D trees, click OK, and then you can pick all different kinds of trees. I'm just going to grab an American elm. You can zoom out a little bit, and you can sort of see the effect. Rotate my view, and we've now added trees. Again, if we look at the attributes for St. Michael trees, you can see that we have 4 different styles of trees, which is a lot better than the cars. So I'm going to go ahead and classify the trees by categories, ID field, add all values. I only have 5 kinds of trees, and I can go ahead and then select 5 different kinds of trees. I'm going to do it kind of at random, see what they look like. And again, just like with the buildings and stuff, you might have to adjust the sizes to match or to be more realistic. They're not always coming in at the same size. But now I have, if I zoom out, I've added some street furniture and really given my little 3D scene a little bit more dimensions. So go ahead and play with this a little bit. And then when you're done, find a scene that you like. If you end up only working on perhaps one end of the street with the cars, pick a scene that you like and then go ahead and just go File, Export Scene to 2D, and you will complete this lab exercise and have learned skills that you're going to need for later exercises. Thank you very much.